Check, check, check. Ooh-wee. Mm-hmm. 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 What's up, fuckers? Hello, ladies. How y'all doing today? Um, yeah, this is my third time recording this. Um, I woke up with a lot of energy, even though my feet and shoulders hurt, and I'm getting frustrated. Something's going on with my headset. I don't know. First time it recorded the intro, and then it just stopped recording. Second time, I checked the microphone, checked recording, everything worked. I hit record, walked in, didn't record a single thing. Um, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's frustrating. Could be the battery in my headset. It could be Windows acting the fool. Could be OBS. Could be a million things. I don't know. So, just understand that I'm frustrated. Um, but it's fine. So, I covered a lot of things in the first one. I didn't cuss. Uh, Second one, I covered most of everything. It's all still fresh in my head, and I cussed a little too much because I was frustrated. And this time, I'm not promising anything because I'm even more frustrated. So, let's get into this. What we are talking about is elite, right? A couple of derivatives of that word as well: elitism and elitist. So, what we've got is a person who is elite. That's the person crawling through the mud, getting physically and mentally stronger at what they're trying to accomplish. The elitist is the one that puts mud on their face so that their skin gets stronger. Look, there are people that are elite in billions of different facets of life. They are elite. They are the best of the best. And there are elitists in every single facet of life. Um, you've got to understand that the elite sit there for hours, busting their ass, working, trying to get things done, building a machine or building a situation to their liking. The elitist stands over their shoulder and critiques them along the way. Um, there are people that are elite in chess, math, all the facets of science, all aspects of life. There are people that are elite. They're specialists. Like I said before, people get too stuck thinking that they're smart in one aspect of life, don't realize that they're not smart in other aspects of life. And that's when they become elitists, because they think that they know better, even though they have no information whatsoever about the situation. So yeah, man, I'm sorry. I said some really good stuff the first time. Second time, I chopped it all up. This time, it's probably even going to be worse, especially because I'm frustrated. Okay, so actors, right? Actors and actresses, they're professional liars. It's what they get paid for, is to lie to you. Facial expressions, they get taught how to manipulate you. They have 5 people in the trailer putting makeup on them for an hour before they go on stage or on set. And then they got 3 more people in between shots keeping them looking pretty because they're sweating their asses under the lights. These are professional liars, physically, emotionally, and verbally. They're professional liars. I'm not saying that some of them aren't doctors, some of them aren't scientists, some of them aren't astrophysicists. They're still professional liars. You got to understand, just because you specialize in one aspect or two aspects of life doesn't mean that you know anything about the rest. I think I'm better than you guys. I'm an elitist. No, I'm not an elitist. I'm elite in staying calm in very intense situations. My heart doesn't skip a beat. I've seen people cough out chunks of their lung. My heart rate didn't go up. I just looked at the situation and said, look, this needs to happen. This is the way to get in and out. This is when paramedics get here, when meds get here. This is how they got to get in. This is how they got to get out. We've got to sit here. We can't touch them. We just instantly just went into what needs to happen. My heart didn't skip a beat. That's where I think I'm elite. I'm different than other people. I'm better than people in that aspect. That allows me to see things. It allows me to, take my time and not make stupid decisions. But I'm not an elitist. If I go into a situation and you know more than I do, fuck no. What do you got to know? You're leading. I may be the leader, but you're in charge. You're the leader because you have more information than I do. You know more about this situation than I do. Anything you say, I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to make decisions as we go based on what you know about the situation. A good leader isn't someone who knows everything. You have the old elder village leader who's slow in making decisions. They make sure that they take their time to know everything and every aspect of the decision they're going to make. And that tribe lives peacefully and long. You've got the elder that's an elitist that thinks they know better and tells other people to go to war until they have nobody else to fight with. All the while, they've never raised a hand to fight. They just told other people to do it. That's an elitist. It really doesn't have anything to do with power, money, strength. It just has to do with the thought process that because you're smart in one aspect of life that you know better than everybody else in all the others. I feel sorry for politicians because a good leader always changes his mind when presented with information that should change his mind. Only idiots don't change their mind when they're presented with information counter to what they think. Now, there's going to be people, yeah, but we've been doing this for years trying to get them to think this. No. Just because you think something doesn't mean somebody should think something. You can't say you're an idiot because you don't think like I do and expect somebody to change their mind. You say, look, you don't think like I do. This is why I think how I think. Then the other person, well, this is how I think what I think. And then you say, but what about this? And they'll be like, what about this? And then you know what? You had a conversation. You just took the first steps to changing that person's mind without ridiculing them and being an elitist. Politicians can't flip-flop for some reason because of other politicians and political activists that call it flip-flopping. But when you're making a decision, and that's your job, is to make a decision, you have to make a decision. You make a decision. If presented with information that says that your decision was not the greatest, you change that decision. You don't bum rush 1,000 people with 50 people expecting to have victory. If you have your team of 50 people bum rushing a place and you get information that there's 1,000 people in there, you say stop. You change your mind. That is a good leader. A bad leader is it has to happen anyway, and then you lose all 50 people. Let me explain the news, right? So we've got these news networks that are on 24 hours a day. And out of that 24 hours of the day, 6 hours of that day is actual news. Like 2 hours in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, an hour around 6, and an hour around 11. Out of that 6 hours, half of that is politics. So that leaves 21 hours of politics and 3 hours of news. Let's do some mental and moral gymnastics now. Let's say that hypothetically there's a person on a news network that has a television show, and they say this actually factually happened, and we need you guys, the millions of viewers, to go out and burn down the town because of this disservice that just happened. And then they sit up there in their stone tower with glass windows the size of most people's homes, staring out as the fires start to burn and spread. And then the people are like, well, wait, my house is on fire. Yes, let it burn, let it burn. That's the point. We're burning the city down, as they sit in their stone tower with huge glass windows. The fire is beautiful. Keep going, keep going. And then all of a sudden, you're like, but I don't have a home to go home to. Don't worry, I'll be fine, they say from their tower. And then you realize what an elitist is. And then when the repercussions come back, that was false. That wasn't true. And they get in legal trouble. They say, but I'm an opinion show. I'm just a talk show. That was my opinion. I presented it to the millions of people that watch me as actual factual stuff to try to instigate them into doing my dirty work. But this is technically an opinion show, so even though it was an actual factual statement, it's just an opinion. They don't care what happens to you. They're using you. That's an elitist. They don't care about your issues. They don't care about anything. Look at the actors. Look at some of the actors. Look at these actors that have been acting since they were in their teens and their 20s. And they want to act like gangsters. They want to be mobsters. They made a few mob movies. They've played tough characters. But then they want to go and they want to act like a mobster to the President of the United States. Yeah, you fucking dipshit. I'm looking at you. What the fuck is wrong with you? You ain't connected. Mobsters will shit on real mobsters will shit on you. You're a fucking professional liar. If we didn't have the Constitution, your head would be decapitated. You're a pathetic peon. That is an elitist right there. Someone who plays the part of a mobster, a gangster, someone who goes and puts in work, someone who's got a stressful life because they could be killed at any point in time. They go out and kill people. They make money. They produce. They do things. You're a professional liar. And you're going to try to step in their shoes, act like them, and be a tough guy against someone who's literally got people that will murder you for making threats because of the law, not because they're a dictator. Oh, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. You're an elitist. You have no power. You're just trying to rile up people to do your bidding while you sit in your glass tower. Look, we can't do this, guys. When somebody is trying to force you, you feel like you're backed into a situation, then ask why. Ask them why. It's the most important question you could possibly ask. You know, if you've got sorry, to make sure my headphones are still on. You know, let's go into all right, so there was this director, movie completely flopped, right? And they said because of the expectations of their immutable characteristics that they were not able to perform, and the movie failed because of their immutable characteristics. So you're telling me that something that cannot change, literally cannot change, is the reason that you failed. Something that cannot be changed is why you failed. You're telling me that your color and your gender, the things that cannot change, are the reason that you failed. It's not because you're an idiot. It's not because you're an elitist. It's not because you don't think past your nose. It's because of the things that cannot be changed. Your color can't be changed. You can tan if you want. You can do whatever the hell you want. But by color, you just mean race. You mean the way you were born. You're saying that you are a victim because of the way you were born. You're not even giving yourself a chance to succeed. And no, you can't change your gender. I don't care what you say. Let's break this down. You're going to hate me, but I hope you love me because I love you. Look, there's people that don't like their hair. There's people that don't like their hands. People that don't like their feet and they cut them off. That's not a physical issue. That's a mental issue. The way that you were born, you have specific organs that keep you chemically together. You not liking yourself enough to try to change that is mental. Has nothing to do with physical. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. I don't care what kind of expert you bring. The fact that you don't like yourself, you want to change, is mental. If you didn't have those wants and thoughts, your physical would be perfectly fine. It has nothing to do with your physical. I'm sorry. You're a beautiful person whether you try to change your physical or not. You can lose weight, you can gain weight, you can do things like that. But when you cut off organs that literally help you survive and live, then you're mutilating yourself you're mutilating yourself physically to try to help your mental health. That's not how it works. Look, I come here to get to the root cause, right? And I am so tired of seeing these media outlets and celebrities who are professional liars and elitists tell you that you need to go through this self-mutilation to be you. Instead of saying, I'm sorry that you're not happy with yourself. Why are you not happy with yourself, and dealing with the root cause? Look, it's fine. There's people that are feminine. There's people that are masculine. There's feminine females. There's masculine females. There's feminine males. There's masculine males. But look, that's perfectly fine. If you're attracted to the same gender, that's perfectly fine. But you cannot change yourself to something that you are not physically. You can't make yourself 7 foot if you're 5'2". Yes, you can get some implants in your shins and your legs will look crazy as fuck with your short little body. You can get ribs taken out so that you can bend over and pleasure yourself. You can do things to manipulate your body to get to certain aspects, but you can't change it. When you cut off portions of your body that give you chemicals to sustain your life from the way that you were built as a child, you're hurting yourself. You go to the root cause. Why do you think you need to change? Why do you think that you're not happy or not supposed to be who you were born as? I love you no matter what you do, but you need to love you. What your body looks like, how you are, doesn't make any bit of difference because that's you. I mean, there are certain things health-wise that you can do, but you'll never be self-reliant if you go through any kind of gender transition. You'll never be self-reliant because it's going to change your chemical makeup and you're going to be dependent on drugs for the rest of your life. And if you can't get those drugs, you're going to be screwed up either physically or mentally because you're not getting the chemicals in your body that you need. You can go about trying to change yourself as much as you want, but you're never going to be that. You know, when a man approaches a woman, he wants to mate, he wants to have kids, right? Most females that can't have babies, they put it out there up front. they say, hey, I can't have kids. At the very beginning, because they found out that that is a deal breaker. And when you go through that, you literally can't have kids as a man transitioning to a female. And the thing is you can't ever transition to a female because you can't be a female. You don't have ovaries. You don't have mammaries. You don't have parts needed. Your hips are not broad enough. You do not have an actual vagina. You can cut skin and make it look like one, but you don't have one. You do not have the ability. So as soon as you distinguish that fact, all right, look, just by saying you can't have babies, if you're female or transition, you're already like just cut out of most of the dating pool, right? You've already lost like 80% of the men, right? Now, imagine that you're not actually a woman. You've just cut out 95, 99% of the men, right? Whether you have a hole to put their penis in, you don't have the facilities to go any further than that. We're talking about sex. That's how shallow this is, right? You're transitioning to be a woman because the only thing that you can offer beyond that is a good conversation and sex. There's nothing beyond that that you can offer. Just regular human shit. Your transition limits you, right? You are limiting yourself. You're hurting yourself. You're taking away building blocks of your body to try to lie to people and say that you're something else. This is a mental issue. As much as you don't want the stigma of it being a mental issue, nobody doesn't like their hand enough to cut it off unless they've got mental issues. It was never their hand. When you take off your hand, you're at a disadvantage. You only have one hand. You take off your foot, you're going to hop around like an idiot. You cut off your hair, your head's going to get sunburnt when you go outside. Look, there's repercussions to everything that you do, but there's also a base origin, a root cause of everything that you do. If you don't like your hand, if you don't like your foot, if you don't like your hair, if you don't like your penis, that's mental. That's not physical. And these celebrities are going to sit here and they're going to celebrate you hurting yourself so that they can feel validated for being so shallow as to not even care if you're happy, but only wanting to see you change. They're elitists. They'll sit there and let's go back to the beginning, the tower, everything. Get that in your mind, right? So, you say, I don't like myself. They say change. You go change. You're like, I told you you'd be better. And then you're like, wait, this didn't help me. Now I'm stuck on meds. And then you end yourself because you've gone so far beyond who you are, you can't get back anymore. And then they're like, hey, that person just did this and we need to stand behind them, and I need you other people that are just like that to go through the same thing that I just told them they need to do, and then I'll support you in it. They don't care about you. They didn't care about you in the first place. They're sitting here telling you to do something that they know is going to hurt you just so they can validate their shallow ideas of what pretty is. And then they're going to use you after they've put you into a fucked up position and you're gone now to make other people get in that same position. This is control. This is elitism, people. Ask why. Always ask why. Look, nothing I say is 100%. Nothing whatsoever. Right? But just be aware. There are elitists trying to control you. Ask them why. Ask yourself why as well. I love you. I wish you well. This shit better have fucking recorded this time or I am going to give up. I won't give up. But Jesus, I'm running out of time. Okay. Make today a beautiful day. I'm trying, damn it. I am trying. Holla at you.